So, tube of you. I knew a video like this would have to come out eventually, but I never thought I'd have to do it about a product that I liked so much. But I ended up purchasing the Backcountry Monashee pack. It's the Ridgeline 7500, and I really love this pack. But my problem is I can't take a sheep hunting this year the way it's set up right now. So let's dive into this pack and you'll know what I mean. This bag is awesome. We got every single thing that I asked for in a pack, and which is kind of interesting because they reached out to me, said, hey man, I've been doing my own gear for so long. I got some ideas I kind of want to talk to you about, and next thing you know, I'm buying a set of gaiters, and then I'm dropping $11.50 on a pack. And I'll be honest, when you're forking out that kind of money, you definitely are holding it to a really high standard, and you need to take that in consideration with my review coming out on this. When I talk about what I really like, first off, this front. So you got big buckles. One thing I like to turn around and note is that all of the buckles on the front here are offset, so it doesn't come straight in the middle. So you actually have a really nice piece of real estate up here that you could easily mount your bow or your rifle to it, and you're not having the buckles actually on the unit. Some people really don't like their stuff getting scratched. I know it's plastic, but like in the end, it does cause a little bit of scratch. You open this up, you got nice big pockets, these nice big pulls. So I didn't realize this until our last mountain trip, but these are also glow in the dark. So I actually appreciate something like that. You'll notice in my KUIU tent review, it was definitely something I liked. The next thing that I love, okay, and that's this. I love it. I know everybody calls it a horseshoe opening, yada, yada, yada. To me, it's a beaver tail. If you know what a beaver tail is, then you know what I'm talking about. But it opens, and it opens wide, and it allows me access into this. I'll be honest, I had it stuffed pretty full with the kids' sleeping bags and everything at the mountain, and this allowed me to get everything inside. But I didn't feel like with like our Stone Glacier pack that I was forcing the zipper. When you overstuff my Stone Glacier pack, I almost feel like I have to pull it in the center to turn around and do. With this, all I have to do is pull it to one side. I can reach in this side or pull it to the other side and get into it. I can't remember if I just touched on it, but you have nice little mesh pockets. These are little nuances that I absolutely love. The cool part about this pack, okay? And this, so I actually have a love-hate for this part. I do say that a lot. Maybe I should coin it for something. But the side pouches, okay? So this side is all shut up and closed here. So what it is expandable scope or pockets. I like this for I'm gonna call it the one pack wonder, where I only have enough money for one really good pack. I need it to be a day bag, and I need it to be an expedition bag. And what this does is it allows you to tighten it, secure it in, so when you're in this kind of close terrain, not too far from the truck, you get it good. But other than that, you open this up, and now you have this flap, which you could turn around and put your spotting scope and everything in there. Opens nice and big, things like that. So this is where the love-hate from it. I actually love this. The problem is I have a bit of an addiction to packs, as you might know, and I have more than one pack. So is this a feature that I would seek out in a bag right now in my current situation? No. When I was starting out, is this a feature I would seek out in? 100%. One thing I do want to note on that is, so on the other side, I do have my Swaro 65 straight in there, and I know it probably is me, but it definitely can be a little cumbersome to get it in there. But once you get that feel to get it in, it's super simple. Again, Is this an option that I would seek out? No, not in this current state, but it does feel weird, and I always check it because you have this zipper open kind of deal. So it is definitely something in. Now, when it comes to the comparison between my current Stone Glacier pack and this, obviously the big side pouches on it, I could put my tripod and the spotting scope in here. The tripod, you have these giant mesh-ish pockets, expandex kind of deal. I'm not a technical guy when it comes to that stuff, but it expands, it puts in there. So this is something that I just got to learn, that it puts it on the outside. And those that went mountain hunting with me last year, I started putting the spotting scope tripod on the outside for ease of getting it out. And as I start to shoot off a tripod more and more, I do know having quicker access to it is probably a better thing. So that's why I'm appreciating it, but it's a learning curve for me. But these spandex pockets are huge. It goes from here to here. You can put water bottles, you can put everything like that. The only thing when I'm not using them, I usually put my trekking poles in there. And this is something where I have to kind of get used to, as it is a more lighter material, is that I'm gonna have to put the spikes up. I don't know how I fully feel about that, but that's just one little nuances, and it's more changing the way I pack versus how the pack is designed. Basically tailoring how I need to get everything into here versus everything else. It has a big lid, and the cool thing about this lid is it does have the adjustable buckles. I love these little snap toggle things. I mean, I just unhooked it. I can pop it up here. And now when I expand it up, like, I'm already ready to go. Like, that was in real time. That was super fast and everything like that. We get into the lid. Lid's nice and big, but more on that later. Okay, this is something that I didn't think I'd like, but it has grown on me. And this is the roll top. So I've never really been a roll top guy. I do prefer a drawstring and things like that within it. And that comes from a lot of like Arctic and winter stuff that I do. But this so far is pretty amazing. Just look at the size and the volume. And in the last trip with the kids in the mountains, I'll be honest, there wasn't too much weight in this, but what I did have was a bunch of sleeping bags, and I was pretty blown away of how far this expanded. He has it listed as a 7500. For some reason, I'm thinking it can hold more, but I mean, I'm not a mathematician or anything like that, despite what people will say. It feels like it could definitely hold more. Now, you are talking coming way up there in height-wise, but when you're doing meat and hauling and things like that, it's definitely beneficial for your gear. I do call this the bonus pocket. I don't know why it's back here. Is it maps? Is it things like that? Maybe he can comment below, but it definitely is there, and I think I'd put a map in it, but you got to think, if you don't have too much in it, you got to roll into it. So there's little things that, like, do you need this? Maybe, maybe not. To each their own kind of deal. But in my mind, when it comes to cutting weight, I think that would be something that you might cut out, but that's just me. It does have the drinking hose tube, and in the back of the pack, obviously I have it stuffed full of stuff right now. You have a sleeve that you could put your bladder. Again, I'm not a bladder person anymore. I've had one too many break and leak on me and freeze up come the cold. So that is just something that I know a lot of people appreciate, but it isn't top on my list. I do think that it could maybe leak in there, but I mean, most of the other packs still need rain covers also. Okay, moving forward, this hip belt. This hip belt is super wide. I do love the MOLLE panel on it. Again, there's other people out there doing other things with technology, but I mean, right off the bat, you have a spot that you can turn around and hook everything into, and MOLLE just works. Whether you actually use a MOLLE pouch or whether you rig up something, it gives you that. Plus, any of the pouches you do put in here aren't going to slide. Like, I could turn around easily, take my Stone Glacier water bottle holder, slip it through here, and it's not going to go anywhere, versus on my Stone Glacier itself, it will probably go there. I don't know how yet. I haven't figured it out where I would put the rifle. Chances are it'll be stuffed in this big pouch, which does obviously get my concern that knows with my big 24-inch barrel sticking up. But yeah, that's pretty much. I love this bag. This bag I can do a lot with. Now let's kind of focus on why I don't think I can take the sheep hunting in its current setup. And where that comes from is the frame itself. Okay. Before I step forward too much, I have been in massive discussion, and this is one of the things I like with the Buy Canadian concept and talking with the manufacturer himself. He's very open, and he really wants to hear what people have to say about his gear. And I think I'm like the first of 3 people that have ordered his pack, and he was very receptive of every single thing I had to say, and especially when I talk so amazingly about that. Okay, so let's first start with the low nuances. So my big thing is this belt. So when I put it on and clip it, I do find that it does flip and change on me. He's already addressed this in the mail, not at time of this filming. He has me a wider belt, and the cool thing is, because a lot of his stuff is user replaceable, that he thinks about you carrying replacements, things like that. He knows things are going to break. So, and it's nothing on him. Things break. Everything breaks eventually. So he made it so that it'll just snap in and out. So he's got me a new one coming. One of my personal complaints that we're discussing, and I know he's working with a bunch of other concepts to try and go forward, is there's a lot of adjustments here. And I know his initial intent, and it sort of does it, and it depends on how you feel and things like that, was to get this hip belt to actually fit properly onto your waist. And that's with these 4 adjustments here. The problem that I found is it didn't do as intended. All I found was it just changed how this either sat, the waist belt sat, or made it bigger and smaller. So what I would find is that it would, instead of adjusting it on my hips, what it would do then is end up taking everything off, because it just loosens it and the pack would slow down and I get more weight on my shoulders. And he has a few things in the order to try and get this, but it still works. It still does it intended. If you like to have multi-adjustments, kind of like I do, then it's just not there yet, okay? But I also think once I get the thicker web belt, it's going to change the way this buckle feels, and it's going to change that. So there's definitely going to be a bigger review in the future. Next up is kind of the little things. I know he's already doing this on all the packs. I always like these being folded over and stitched, and he definitely did it with a couple of the belts down here. But when it comes to like the shoulder straps and the load lifters, when you're sweating and things like that, and you just put your pack on, or you're cold or you're wet, having this little edge to just kind of grab hold of and pull on helps. And these are like the key adjustments that in my mind have to happen. So having that, but he already stated to me that, yeah, that's going to be on every single pack going forward, and we'll get mine changed up. So the next thing, okay, at time of release, I know I'll probably admit I rushed him a little bit, that there are aluminum stays in this pack, and I have a track record of bending and breaking the aluminum stays. I'm not as comfortable with it. There's also a plastic form in the frame itself. But one thing I want to turn around and point as we're just sitting here, there is about 35, 40 pounds in here. And as it sits, you can already see that it's starting to bend backwards. Now, when you get this on and you adjust your load lifters and things like that, it will pull it forward. But that's also where I start to kind of bend and break the aluminum stays itself that are lined in here. And this was like the key no-go factor for me. And I just couldn't do it. When we were in it, even Justine pointed out, she goes, something's wrong with that pack. And I'm like, it doesn't feel right. And I could feel it countering, and I could adjust it to work. But this is something that, as it sits right now, I can't really trust it to go in the mountains. Now, I'm going to throw this discussion back to him. And I turned around, we had an open discussion, video chatted right away. I showed him it. He's seen exactly what I was talking about. And then he goes, hey, Dan, this isn't my initial intent. And what I initially intent is I wanted to do a carbon fiber composite, but my carbon fiber is stuck at the border. And this comes from like something of Buy Canada, right? We don't produce everything, unfortunately, in Canada, so we do have to outsource and bring it in. But it's stuck at the border. It's been stuck at the border for months, and he doesn't have an option. And I was like, okay, like I get it. And he wanted to put out the pack with a curved style frame, and in order to do that, you got the aluminum stays with the I can't remember, it is a composite something liner in it, and it helps form. The problem is obviously this one seems to be weaving back and forth, and that's just with whatever kind of aluminum you get at that day. We all know that not everything seems to be the same these days. So him and I bounced ideas off each other, and this is why I like to hit up him really good. He is so open, and I was like, I got it, man. What about just like carbon stays? Like if you turn around and put even an aluminum tube in there or a carbon tube, you don't get the form that some people are looking. But I have another frame that from Stone Glacier, and it's straight up carbon poles. Like they look like carbon arrows. And lo and behold, he goes, hey, wait out, man. And next thing you know, I'm getting pictures from him, and he turns around and throws straight up carbon stays in there, and it's working. He puts 90 pounds on it. And his little thing was, okay, the waist belt doesn't feel right, but like, hey, leave it with me. Got the waist belt right, adjusted it, turned around, put 120 pounds in it. And next thing you know, he's like, man, this is it. So he has en route to me carbon stays. And that again bodes well to him. He knows, sees the issue. We talk about the fix, and he's like, man, here's the fix, and he's sending it out. So I know that he's kind of told me that every pack right now is going to come with the carbon stays. I know if you probably talk to him and you're an aluminum fan, you could turn around and use the aluminum as well. But as soon as his carbon fiber comes in, he's going to start making the formed frame as well. And that's going to have a bunch of options for you guys. And I even talked to him. If you reach out to him, and I'm pretty certain he will take care of you. And that's all I'm going to leave there, so I don't have to put his feet to the fire. But that's right now, as it sits, how I can't take this pack into the mountains. Despite me loving the bag, loving the sip, the frame design itself is great. But it's the rigidity of the pack and how it currently flexes that means that I can't really take it. Now, the only other complaint I have is the complaint that up until the recent Stone Glacier adaptation is this lid. This lid, it's a little overcomplicated. It does have big long straps down here with the buckles. It has the big long straps here with the buckles, which I pointed out can be adjusted, which actually is pretty good because everyone needs to have that adjustment. But back here, it suffers from saggy lid syndrome if you don't have a lot in it. And talking with him, he was honest with me. He goes, man, I don't usually run a lid. And I'm like, well, I always do. Lid, as everybody knows, when I turn around and I pack my what ifs, the lid is my go-to. It always has every single thing that no matter what's in my pack in there. And then the bag itself is what actually changes. So is the lid a no-go? No, I've done with enough saggy lid syndromes across the board that it's pretty easy to deal with. But I mean, he's also talked now that he's going to turn around and make slight adjustments so that it doesn't have the buckles, make it quick replaceable. Again, all of his stuff is pretty quick replaceable. So Needless to say, that was rather long-winded. That was probably a one-take wonder. I might cut and edit it a little bit out. But this pack has a lot of potential. And once he sends me out the carbon stays and we get the belt all fixed out, I'm going to turn around, put some more miles on it. And you know what? Sheep season is right around the corner. At time of this, we are 34 days before I turn around and I'm out into sheep country. So let's hope everything comes in and we can get this in, because this would be a cool pack to have on my back. I did hold it to very high esteem because at this price point, it has a lot of competition. I mean, with the Kuyu packs, the Stone Glacier, the EXO, Mystery Ranch, you're coming in at just under or just around $1,000 Canadian. But the difference is like he's coming pretty darn close without having the name or the purchasing power that all those other companies have at this time. So that is something to behold. And again, his attention to the small details here, mixed with his ability to listen to the consumer, is something to behold that is sometimes difficult to get with out-of-country packs or out-of-country gear. So that is something to be aware of, that's what you're investing in the future of Canadian manufacturing. So I'm going to hit up in here once there's a new review to see how it goes, and hopefully everything gets sorted out. And if I take the pack into the mountains, great. If not, it's still going to be a pack as long as it works out for the Baker Adventures, which keep an eye, like, subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed this content. If you do, come help support our channel. Check out thebakeradventures.com, and you can purchase some of our merchandise, which helps pay for these. Again, I bought this with my own money, and it's a lot to fork out, and some things are changing within the Baker Adventures and how we do business. So I hope you guys can kind of see that it keeps us non-biased. I'm not saying that I won't turn down free gear, but at the same token, I know hand on heart, I invested the money in this to do this review, so you didn't have to. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for our next adventures.